welcome back. And I think Dr. Yukti Mukda Vijit will illustrate us more about the minority and majority issue in Southeast Asia because I think we can see the problem even in Myanmar that the Arakan people would have the what they call the Rohingya problems with the people because you already identify, and define two types of the minority and majority. So in terms of power, in terms of number. Let's come back to Thailand. So I think some people might say that the current conflict in Thailand is simply about the majority and minority. Talking about democratic society, talking about class, structure in Thai society. Is there any possibility to just simply say, that any correction that people say, the current situation in Thailand, it's the merely problem of minority and majority?
Yes, of course. It's about we're talking about the conflicts, and then we can also mention about majority and minorities. But the case of Thailand is, I think it's twist. Mm-hmm. It's the twist of the problem on minority and majority, because in terms of majorities, the people who live in northern Thailand, majority of people who live in northern Thailand and northeastern Thailand, they elect their own parties, their politicians to be the governments of the countries, right? And so then Yingluck Shinawatra got elected from the people, and then that talks about that represents the majorities of the people in terms of populations, right?
Yes.
But they became minoritized in terms of the whole politics because the legitimacies that they have from the election process, from the election politics, became illegitimized by the minority group of people who live especially in Bangkok or even in southern Thailand.
And who is this group? I mean, who are these people, the minority in Bangkok?
So they were minorities of the countries, but they are more powerful in terms of the politics. So then they became majorities in terms of political powers. And then they gained power from, I think, two group of people who are behind or who are the main group of people who block the majority of people to come to power. They are the elites, the old elites who are very conservative, and also the middle class who became well established eventually after the process of the economic developments within 40 years of the economic plans. So then these are the group of people who protest against the military powers in the 70s, in the 60s and the 70s, and they were radicals at the times. But right now they became more conservatives because their life has been well enough, well off enough, and then they became part of the establishments. So then they live within the same systems that they already they satisfied with it. It fulfilled their satisfactions already. But when we talk about the group of people who support the Pheu Thai party, they came to power after they came to power after the 80s and the 90s. Within that period of time that they became rising from the lower part of the countries, from the lower class of the countries to be middle class. So then I call them emerging class because they just emerged out of nothing. So and then after they gain more powers in terms of economic powers, and they realize that they have to be part of the countries, and then they need their voice to be heard from the countries, and then they try to protect ones whom they elect to be their representatives.
So that means you, in your opinion, this what you call emerging class is the majority of Thai country now.
Yes, their majority is in terms of population, right? But they are still seen as minorities in terms of political power.
I have heard so many people say if this majority in terms of power, I mean the bureaucratic society, things like that, if they don't learn from the war in Vietnam,
Yes.
war in Cambodia, even in Laos, in Indonesia, even in Myanmar, if they cannot deal with this differentiation between the minority or majority or the class structure, and we, I mean Thailand, cannot settle this kind of conflict nowadays.
Well, I think one part is that it has to do with like the experience from other countries, but the other thing is I think we can learn from ourselves from the past that what happened in the past is that if the change is knocking the door, so then you still try to hold it, you still try to shut it up. It's eventually the change will just like flow into or flow through the doors itself. So you cannot block it. It's the floods of change is just knocking your doors. You cannot block it. That's the facts, and it happened since we're talking about the democratic revolutions, right? In 1932 led by P.D. Phnom Yong, Khana Rasadon, and also eventually we saw the students' movements in the 70s, and then the middle class movements in the 90s, and also nowadays what we have is the emerging class, the new middle class movements in 2010. So then, what are you going to do? You cannot block it. It's the floods of change, the floods of democracies. It's going on in these countries. But if we return to the topics of minorities, majorities, I would warn or talk about these problems in courses that, I mean, what we are having right now is another group of people who will be part of the countries. I'm talking about the floods of people who migrate from other countries to live in these countries and to be part of the economic societies in Thailand. And we have to accept it that a lot of we have problem with the labor problem, that we don't have enough laborers to fulfill so many jobs, right? So then we need immigrant workers to fulfill those jobs, but we still don't have correct way of opinions about those group of people. For example, we don't know that people who migrate to live in Thailand who are from Burma, they're not just Burmese or from Myanmar, if we correct it, talks about the name of the country rightly. They're just from Myanmar doesn't mean that they are Burmese, all of them, right? So we have the Koreans, the Chans, the Taiyais, or Rohingyas, and many groups who are migrate from who migrate from Myanmar to live in Thailand. So then I think what Thailand is going to have to handle it very well is the problem of the immigrant workers that will be our futures of the conflicts within, I think, in 10 years or afterwards. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for your talk today. And I think our audience will get a lot of thoughts from Dr. Yukti Mukda Vichit from Faculty of Sociology and Anthropology of Thammasat University. And I hope that you will keep watching us next time. Good night.